Hello and welcome to Strange Talk with Doc. This is Doc here. I hope your day is going well. We're going to talk about some things today. I'm going to ask the question and answer it, I guess. Why do I podcast? I'm interested in why do you podcast? Are you a listener of podcasts? Obviously, if you're here, you're listening. I'm going to talk some coronavirus. I'm going to talk some Trump. I'm going to talk Las Vegas bars re-shutting down. I'm going to talk about legendary, some TV shows, documentaries. I'm going to talk about the NBA, Disney Wide World of Sports conditions. I'm going to talk about some general public things, UFC. We're going to get to a lot of things. This is not a one pony, trick pony type podcast. We deal with a lot of different issues. I'm going to talk TERRYCREWS. I'm going to talk about a lot of things. I'm not going to talk down to you about these things. I'm just going to give you my opinion on what I think is interesting and what's going on in not only the world, but my world. So let's start where we always start lately because it's a very important subject and we have to deal with it. The coronavirus. And forgive me, I did not do my research this morning to see what the latest updates were. So I do not have those numbers and I'm ashamed of myself for not having those numbers. But I'm going to move on. Uh, Las Vegas, Friday night at 11:59 p.m. They decided that they had to re-shut down the bars. I thought Vegas had opened up a little too early to begin with, but they wanted to have that 4th of July Memorial Day money, so they decided to do it. And then they didn't have a universal plan. They originally or initially said that they were all going to adhere to one plan. And the one plan was going to be if he was going to test at one place, he was going to use the same type of testing in all places, which was not true. I looked at YouTube videos and I seen how Caesars conducted themselves as opposed to how Bally's and no, not Bally's, Bellagio conducted themselves, and it wasn't different. You had people floating around, no masks. You had mass gatherings at pools. So I'm not shocked that this happened. I'm sad that this happened. I'm sad that they rushed. I'm sad that they put people's lives and health in jeopardy. I wanted Vegas to do the right thing. They said that they were going to pride themselves on being the safest place to come, and they failed. And there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. They have failed. So we all know that it has spiked in Florida. It has spiked in Texas. And it spiked so bad in Florida that Trump now says that his convention, he's actually willing to work with somebody to change the format as far as masks and social distancing is concerned. Now, Trump should have been doing this from day one, but he is an irresponsible man who's in this office of president, and we know how this is going for us. Hundreds of thousands of people are dying. Millions of people are sick. Millions of people are not at their jobs. They're not collecting a paycheck. They're on unemployment. There's been no second stimulus. We are in bad shape, and I'm hoping for the very best. Fauci has actually said that he hasn't even spoke to Trump in the last 2 months. This dude is the top infectious disease expert in America, and he has not spoken to Trump about the pandemic resurgence. That makes no sense to me. How how do you even have a person in office and you don't even talk to them? Who we got with me?
Oh, it's Netboy, and that's because Trump doesn't care about the coronavirus.
Okay, maybe you could help me out with something here, Net. Who do you know the latest numbers worldwide in the U.S.? Because for once in my life, I did not do the research, so I do not have the latest numbers. And like I said, I
No, I don't have the
apologize.
latest. I don't have the latest. The last number I heard was 130, but I think that was earlier in the week.
Okay, because last
Oh, you
Sunday
said
doing the
worldwide. Sorry, I don't know about worldwide. That was U.S.
okay, we were at 128 last Sunday when we did the show. So now we're at least over 130. That is an outrageous number, you know. And I was just talking about how Texas is going to reimpose a shutdown. Vegas has already reimposed a shutdown. And then this guy, Trump, we don't refer to him as president over here. So if this is a type of podcast that you're looking that's going to be doing a lot of praising of this man at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, you can tune out now. I don't mind losing you because this is not a place for you to begin with. But he threatens to cut funding to schools if they don't reopen when he
Yeah.
doesn't net even have the power to do it. He loves threatening things. He loves
Yeah.
threatening things that he does not have power. Congressional authority funds the schools, not the president. This is not a job of the United States president of America to sit there and say who directly gets funding. There are congressional uh, boards for these type of things.
Yeah, I think it's just now he's trying to switch up, but being that the virus is getting so bad, he's trying to switch his stance. So we got an election coming up, so he's just trying to um, toe the line, I guess, with some not his base, but others that one should wear masks and opening
Oh
up the
yeah, well,
economy at the same time.
yeah, the guy shows up at Walter Reed yesterday and he has a mask on.
Yeah,
Okay, he shows up. This is a medical hospital. He's going to see sick vets. It would only be the right thing to do to wear a mask. This is a man who should have had a mask on from day one. He's
it's March.
supposed to be setting an example. He is
Yeah, but I think
actually,
then a couple of months ago, didn't Pence visit the same place and didn't wear masks?
yes, but this time he couldn't do it because let's not forget, and we're going to get to this a little later. He's in full panda mode right now, and I mean full panda. He's pandering to the Hispanics who he has done nothing but for 3 years shitted on. He
Yep.
is pandering to them. He's looking for anybody that he can from certain races to use. Right now, he's having a problem finding a good black person, quote unquote, to use. Because we've read through the Candace Owens, we've read through the um, Diamond and Silk.
Kanye
These are not credible people that he could use. So now, like I said, we're going to get into it. He's using the Goya guy. So now
Yeah.
Goya is the face of all Hispanics, which makes no sense. No one person is the face of any race. Let's clear that up. Two,
I
he's
never even
going
seen
to,
that guy.
exactly. Now he's going to try to find himself some form of an Asian. He's going to try to then, because of this Washington football team thing, I almost slipped up and said it. This Washington football thing, he's going to try to find some chief who's in full Indian regalia to stand next to him. So he has to do all these moves. But one thing about Trump, for as intelligent as he thinks he pretty much is transparent. You can see through everything he does. The only people who don't see through him are people who are indoctrinated in his cult, and they are so deep in it that they're gonna need deep. We're gonna need nationwide deprogramming after November 4th.
Yep. It's either that or the United States is going to be split as far as, I mean, we were already split, but I'm talking about deep divide split, like the Trumpers versus everyone else.
We are, you know what? We are basically. It's a sad state of affairs, but we are basically almost there. It is. It. You could just see how these protesters have regressed to the point where it's basically now just color. It's not even anything up to do with common sense. It's not anything to do with what the platform is. It's just you're white, I'm black, fuck you. And that's where we are right now. And I don't know who could heal this kind of wound. I don't know if it can be healed. This is a deep wound, man. This is one of those fatal wounds. We're in trouble, Net, between a virus that we cannot see, we don't fully understand, and the virus of hate. You know, we have the virus of hate. And then I don't like, and I'm going to target some people right now. You people who throw Trump and the Bible and Christianity in people's face, and you can't even answer the most basic question in the Bible. I think most people can agree that Noah and the ark is one of the most famous stories in the Bible. And don't go to your fucking Google right now. You can't even probably name how many animals Noah brought on the ark. And if you're claiming Christianity and you can't even name how many animals of each animal he brought on the ark, then shut the fuck up, read your Bible, and start from scratch. And that's all I'm going to say on that subject. They probably couldn't even answer that simple ass question. Because I know now that they're already gone, because that's what I'm going to post as a clip. They're going to say two by two. He brought two of each animal. Wrong. Like I said, reread your Bible. You know nothing. Everybody knows he brought two of every animal. No, he did not. Your own Bible says he did not. So you're a fool if you use the Bible to justify things when you don't even know the book. And that's what really pisses me off. These people with this, they throw that in your face all the time and they don't even know what they're talking about. But that's the world we live in. Well, Trump, I advise everybody, if you got 5 minutes of your life, please look at the Lincoln Project Never Trump ads. They are fantastic. I mean, the shits are so fantastic that they will make you angry, they will make you laugh out loud, and they also make you go, who the fuck could vote for this guy? So if you haven't, have you seen them yet?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I've seen like two.
Okay, well they're fantastic. Would you do you agree or you think they're a waste of time?
No, I think there needs to be more.
Yeah, I think there will be more, but I appreciate the Lincoln Project. I tip my hat to you. I actually bow and say good work because somebody's got to say these things. And I'm tired of my man, and he had a perfect opportunity this week, and somebody needs to sit me down and explain, and maybe you could do it right after I finish that. Why the fuck does Obama take the high road with this man? He called him a corrupt crook this week worldwide, and he doesn't even respond. What about saying no? You fucking won't. No, you won't. I mean, I'm not understanding Obama's silence of getting this man kicking sand in his face and just taking it when he could actually throw a fucking gut punch and hurt him publicly. Do you have any views on that?
Yeah, I feel like, sometimes you get the kid that you can constantly say things about, it just doesn't say anything. I don't even think it's a bomb at this time. I really think he tries to stay out of politics. I think his wife doesn't want to parlay in politics, and they have some form of agreement because he doesn't touch really any subject.
But we need him. We need a strong voice that is a respected voice that when he says nonsense, the man called him a fucking criminal, a crook, and basically a traitor to the U.S. And he just ignored it. You cannot not this guy. When this dude is wrong, people gotta tell him who have a platform, you're wrong. I mean, and this is one of those incidents where silence is complicity with what Trump is saying. He got to speak up. And I'm tired of Obama he's always taking the fucking high road. Sometimes, I didn't say get in the dirt with him, Ned. I didn't say, you don't battle with an idiot all day, but you can straighten him out.
Yeah, he has nothing to lose right now. It's like you can't. I can see in the presidency you ain't even want to be labeled as the angry black guy. But now you have nothing to lose. You're not going to run for any other office, so why not?
Yeah, and when you do stuff like that, it always makes him seem like he just going, when it fits my agenda. But you know what? You can't sit there with Biden. Biden needs as much fucking help. He needs as much smart help, trusted help as humanly possible. Because I won't use this platform to dog out Biden, but I really wish that other than like debates, we can hide him away in his own personal bunker and just bring him out when we need him until he gets, in office. Because
So I
he
feel like
slips
right
up
now,
with his tongue a lot, man.
yeah, I know. That's why it's best for him not to say too much. But I really think right now he needs to be seen more, at least do interviews or something, like out of sight, out of mind. And that's the way I feel about it right now. Because, dude, I haven't seen him I saw his wife on the episode of The View a couple of weeks ago, but I haven't seen Biden at all. I don't really watch any of the three major news stations, but I'm like, dude, I'm an American person. I should be able to see you when I turn on the TV at any point of the day.
Yeah, his ad campaigns are weak right now, but I will say that he's the one who has answered back when Trump said this nonsense this week. He did reply back. He made sure to reply back. He made sure that when Trump did the white power thing, that he replied back to that. He has not, Twitter. Let's give Twitter some credit. It's a pretty powerful tool. It gets in people's heads. It makes people talk about things that they wouldn't normally talk about. And at least he responds back because we have the all-time king of Twitter. This week, I watched this Donald J. Trump post something on Twitter. I was actually lucky enough to be the first person to reply. Within a second, for some reason, I was on his site. Within a second of him making a tweet, I was the first one to tweet back to him. But this fucking guy tweets, and then he responds to his own tweets. Who does that? He responds to his own tweets. Okay, so and I'm talking about not once. I'm talking about he did 5 of them back to back to back to back. I was like, you're crazy, right? Who responds to their own tweets? That's all I said. I was like, who does that? But at least Joe does hit him back up on Twitter every once in a while. Now, it ain't one of those 50 Cent type back and forths. But he does, when he says something that, when a person calls you a criminal, if somebody calls you a crook or a rapist, you don't just roll over that and say, hey, bartender, give me another beer. Some things you say, you know what, I'm not standing for that shit. And you know what? Black Twitter showed his power this week, and I'm not going to get into that because I couldn't give less than a fuck about what Will Jada is doing with that August guy. And that's all I'm going to say on that subject. But Black Twitter showed his face, and at least Will thought he had to bow down to them. And I don't really care. I don't give a fuck if they have sex on national TV next week on BET. I'm not watching. I don't care about Jada nor Will. So Trump homeboys, one goes back to jail. Michael Cohen goes back to federal prison, and he makes sure that his butt buddy Roger Stone doesn't go to jail at all, which is no surprise to anybody. But it's no, this fucking guy lied to Congress, and he's not going to jail
twice. Well, they ain't also allowed the FBI too, or just Congress twice.
But see, listen, Roger and Donald go back like babies and pacifiers, man. Them two motherfuckers were schooled at the same school of Roy Cohn. The same college of Roy Cohn. They got master's degrees. Matter of fact, they got doctorates, double doctorates of the school of Roy Cohn. So everybody knew that when Roger got convicted, it was a waste of time, a waste of court energy and money. It was a joke. Now Cohen, I have to say, Cohen's a piece of shit, but I do respect what he did. I would have went back to jail too. I would have went back to jail because one, this is taking money out of Cohen's pocket. They was extorting him legally. They didn't send him back to jail because he was caught at those restaurants in New York. That wasn't what it was. It was because he refused to sign those papers of silence. And he was like, you know what? I only got a year more to do. Fuck that, man. Next year, now I'll be free. Yeah, not only next year can I do a book, I can go to CNBC, Fox, NBC. I can go to Howard Stern. I can go where the fuck I want and talk about what I want to talk about. And they were trying to buy his silence. And he was like, you know what? No, you're not buying my silence. First of all, what the fuck is a Michael Cohen book worth? $20 million? Yeah. I'll do the year. They protected me. I'll do the year. But Roger Stone, I mean, god damn, and he knew this was coming because how was he prepared with a crowd when the decision came down? Think about it. He had a crowd out there with a T-shirt, a special mask, everything, and the camera crew. He knew this shit. Trump called him and said, "Hey, Roger, buddy, I just signed it. Call TMZ, call everybody." You know, this. You could speak about this fucking Donald Trump literally all day long if you wanted to. He he's mad because the two racist team names decide that they want to look into renaming themselves.
Yeah, he's
But
playing to his base.
yeah, but he attacks Bubba Wallace and tells Bubba, you owe everybody an apology because that noose that's a noose is not a noose.
Yeah.
I mean, this dude is he's special. But now let's get to Mr. Goya. Mr. Goya is Robert Unene. Our country is truly blessed to have Trump's leadership. And he compared Trump to his grandfather. Well, your grandfather must have been a piece of shit. Your grandfather must have been crazy as a fucking bug. And does this guy Robert, who sells predominantly, I know he's everywhere. Goya's everywhere, and all races eat Goya products. But he forgets that how Trump treated the people after Hurricane Maria. He shitted on Puerto Rico, came there, threw some paper towels, and got the fuck out of Dodge. And those people didn't have electricity for months, some places, man. I don't know the condition of
Started
some
it.
villages in Puerto Rico now.
Yeah, yeah. I got a friend in Puerto Rico now that's trying to fix up her house that was damaged.
And let's
But I'm like,
not forget,
he started his campaign shitting on Mexicans.
yeah, I was getting ready to go right there. He's been treating Mexicans like shit for 3.5 years. He's actually blamed them for all the ills of America: the raping, the murder, the killing, the drugs. I mean, Mexicans are not doctors, lawyers, accountants, businessmen, and businesswomen. They don't own homes and pay taxes. As far as he's concerned, they're all criminals. So, this dude, he can have any opinion he wants. But he should have worded this a lot better. That we are blessed to have this man. I mean, it's insane. I did something this week. I'm gonna have to wait quite a while to get it though. I ordered Mary Trump's book. Pre-ordered it. I mean, I might not get this thing. Amazon said I might not get it to August through September, but I paid the $25 through Amazon, and I ordered Too Much and Never Enough: How My Family Created the World's Most Dangerous Man. I cannot wait. I'm going to read every page of Mary Trump's book. I don't give a fuck how salacious it is. I don't care if she lies and adds shit in there. I just need to believe the worst about the Trumps. I need to. And if she confirms it in any way, it makes me feel better about myself.
I mean, him and his two dumbass sons get on TV and basically show the worst of Trump. It's like they're like both of them. I'm not gonna put Ivanka too much, but the two sons are basically Trump. I feel like they're Trump-like because Trump is like on steroids. I'm like they're exactly like their father by any means
Yeah,
necessary.
yeah, he's a piece of work. I mean, there's no ifs ands and buts about him being a special piece of work. Now, what I did was I thought about something, right? And this is what Donald J. Trump is to me. He's unqualified. He's a multiple time draft dodger. He's hateful. He's xenophobic. He's a divider. He's 100% racist. He's homophobic. He's Roy Cohn's butt boy. He has low intelligence. He's sexist. He's a con man. He's a cheater. He's a cult leader. He's a fake ass dictator. He's a manipulator. He's incestuous. He's narcissistic. He's a braggart buffoon who is obviously a megalomaniac, and he's a huge embarrassment to the United States of America. And that is what Trump means to me. When I see Trump, I see all those things encompassed in one human being. That is a lot of bad shit to be balled up in one human being. When you think of Trump, what do you think of?
Oh, I think straight racist. That's my main. That's my main thought. the guys are straight racist. I don't know if it was hidden for all these years, but straight racist.
Yeah, I did say 100% racist. Well, let's talk a little bit of sports. This should be interesting. Well, I'll make this real brief. The American Century Golf Celebrity Golf Tournament is going on. It's been going on for a couple of days. It's just interesting, me as a black man who loves to golf, seeing celebrities golf. I like seeing celebrities golf. I like seeing people like I wouldn't normally get to see do this, like Patrick Mahomes and Steph and Drew and his father, the Currys. Seeing Charles Barkley and Carlton from the Fresh Prince golf. It's interesting. Shit, I didn't even know Canelo Alvarez golfed, but watching him golf yesterday was kind of interesting. It was cool to me. I don't know why, but it is. I guess because I would never see these people normally do it. And some of them I say, hey man, that's a rich man. He got a lot of time. He's been golfing for years, and he's shit. I beat him any day of the week. So Fight Island started last night. I have not seen it yet. I unfortunately have heard some endings, but I will be using my Sunday today to finish off this celebrity golf tournament and actually watch the UFC Fight Island. They had some big names on the.
That was a good card.
Go ahead.
Whatever Dana put on, that was a definitely the whole. I didn't watch the prelims, but the whole pay-per-view was really good.
Yeah. I get to see some of my favorite people. I can't wait to see what my girl Rose Namajunas looks like because last time I seen Rose, she was shaky and Jessica Andrade had her fucked up when she dumped on her head and she was talking about quitting. I think Rose is spectacular with her hands. I enjoy a woman who can box. I enjoy Jacek because she can box, and that's not something I see all the time from women. I want to see what Paige Van Zandt got in the tank. I want to see Max Holloway. So I'm quite interested in this whole card. Now Wednesday night on Freebie ESPN, we have Fight Island Part 2, people. Part 2 of Fight Island is Wednesday. I think we're gonna have we had Saturday, we're gonna have Wednesday, then we're gonna have Saturday again, and then we're going to have the next Saturday. So they're over there into the beginning of August.
I would say one thing, which is not a spoiler. When the UFC has a big pay-per-view without Joe Rogan, it makes it a little weird. It's like watching WWE back in the day when there was no Jim Ross. It's like Joe Rogan has become the staple announcer of the UFC.
When you have, here's the two. If you don't have no Daniel Cormier and Joe, it's a little weird. I really don't like listening to Dominique. I must admit, I don't like listening to Dominic Cruz. I don't mind Bixby at all. Bixby is all right. I even take Dan Hardy. But Joe Rogan is kind of, you're right, he's the Jim Ross of voices. And so I dig him. But if Bixby
there was no Cormier there yesterday either.
No, he's training, so we know he won't be at Fight Island for none of these.
Yeah.
He won't be for any of these.
I don't know the guy that was doing the commentary.
Okay, well, if it was Bixby, he has a heavy English accent. But more than likely, it was probably Dominic Cruz, unless it was this tall, blonde guy.
No, he wasn't blonde. It was just weird that it was just weird not to hear the regular people's voices. But I guess maybe people had other things to do than go to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, everybody doesn't want to go. There's strict rules over there, man. You can be arrested for the slightest fucking thing over there. So you would have to stay inside that bubble. And let's now talk about another bubble. The WNBA ownership embarrassed themselves this week. Let's not even get to the NBA. Don't even talk about them. Just let's stick to the WNBA. The WNBA's WUBBLE, when those pictures were released by those young ladies, it was an embarrassment to $1 billion company. We don't want to see
Fire Fest all over again.
Yeah, we don't want to see rat traps and shitty food plates. These are professional athletes. I mean, the rat traps were fucked up. Okay, the little worm thing was bad, but the big, huge fucking rat. Put it this way: your company has a convention. Net boy, you're going to this convention for 5 days. They send you to a room that has a rat trap in it on the wall. What are you calling management of your job and saying, what the fuck are y'all doing to me?
Yeah,
Or you not
first I
doing it?
wouldn't even stay there.
Okay,
There's no bubble in the world that's gonna get me to stay in a room. If you got rat traps, you probably also got bed bugs and anything else.
yeah. Now, since we talked about the WNBA's wobble, the WNBA doubled down on dumb by sending the guys and making their place look just as bad. I mean, that's a double down. I mean, do they really want to restart a league? You know what? What's his name? J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith, I made fun of J.R. Smith for years. He always looks like he's diseased to me. It's just something about him. He just looks like he don't drink enough water. He's one of those guys that look like he drinks soda all day and his skin is bad. And then the tattoos don't hurt. And I'm highly tattooed, but my tattoos don't make me look ill, right? But he was 100% right, Ned. These are Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Rolls Royces. You don't fill them with regular, cheap, standard gas. I mean, you don't give them plates of food that look like that. I mean, okay, I understand Rondo went a little overboard. That room was a lot better than a Motel 6. But shit, I mean, I thought these were luxury accommodations.
Yeah, I think what happened, especially about the money they supposedly have paid Disney, but I think Disney knew that they was going to reopen Disney World, so they probably they created their bubble, allowed them to create their bubble in one of their cheapest probably properties that they own.
No, but here's the crazy thing. They were supposed to get the three most luxurious properties. The NBA paid them $100 million for these 3 months. $100 million for these 3 months. Because they knew that they would lose revenue on Joe Blow going. So these were the three most luxurious. And there's standards to this shit, which is not right either. You see what the Lakers food looked like as opposed to what the Nuggets food looked like? That didn't make sense. The Lakers had sushi. Sushi. The Nuggets had, and I'm not lying because there'll be a picture attached, raw chicken. Raw chicken will put you in the hospital. That shit don't even make sense. Who's cooking? They got the towel guy. Hey, towel guy, go downstairs and cook.
Yeah, that sounds like a biased cook. Let's keep the Lakers healthy.
And kill the other guys.
Yeah.
Now, the Jackson boys, football Jackson and the NFL Jackson. We have Captain Jack Jackson from my old San Antonio Spurs. He was a world champion with the Spurs, so I always had a lot of love and respect for Captain Jack. Then we have Deshaun Jackson from the Philadelphia Eagles. Deshaun makes an asinine comment. He thinks he's saying something slick and winds up not being smart, slick, or even an educated viewpoint at all. Steven Jackson will not stop double, tripling, and quadrupling down on this asinine statement. So, you know what? I'm to the point now that I've actually banned Steven Jackson's Twitters or Instagram or anything that he posts anywhere from me ever seeing it. I don't even want to ever see anything he has to say again. He lost me. He completely lost me. You can't be for anti-racism. You cannot be for anti-racism and pick who you decide that anti-racism is cool against. I appreciate that Deshaun apologized because he actually messed up. But Steven constantly...
anything that says Hitler said, you should know that. Maybe you shouldn't retweet that or post that.
Yeah, and it's not just that. You know what? We got Google. It takes you 2 seconds. Everybody has a phone nearby. He could have Googled the statement and found out that this is even a false statement linked to Hitler. It's not even linked to Hitler. Here's the thing that gets me from black guys from New York. I don't think a black person from New York at one point in time has not seen the black Israelites. Have you ever seen the black Israelites?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, this is their doctrine. This is not something that Hitler says. This is black Israelite doctrine that the black person is the original Jew. And I'm not going to make it into a theological discussion, but that's where they build it on. And then they take one quote out of the Bible. See, I'm a person who studied the Bible back and forth, so I know it pretty damn well. There's a quote in the Bible in Revelations where they say the fake Jews, and then they become the synagogue of Satan. And so that's where that's where that quote kind of comes out of. They're the synagogue of Satan as opposed to the black man as the righteous Jew. And that's what, Stephen Jackson, he already rode the coattails of George Floyd as far as he could take him. But he can't now ride the coattails of Louis Farrakhan also when he's not even a fucking Muslim. You ain't never seen a Nation of Islam guy look like Stephen Jackson. First thing you're going to have to do, brother, is shave. I've seen a lot of Nation of Islam guys, but I ain't never seen one with a beard.
Someone said, so Farrakhan gave a speech right before that Jackson comment. Someone said you could watch Farrakhan, who's like the most articulate person, and get amped up and then not realize what you're sending out. You said sometimes you need to take a moment to breathe and process before you do anything.
Yeah, what happens is in these situations, Net, and it's pretty fucking unfortunate, we get people who are low IQ, low intelligence. Now, I'm sure Captain Jack does well because people love his podcast. People love his podcast. Some shit with Matt Barnes. I've never listened to it.
Yeah.
Like Straight Fire or some shit like that. I don't even know the name. Right? So he goes from there. He does what he does. He knows the NBA. The man knows how to play ball. He knows the in and out of basketball. Now, politics, history, and religion, obviously, those are subjects. When they talked about those in school, he walked out of the door and said, I'm a basketball player. I don't need this shit. And sometimes we have to leave things that are not in our wheelhouse. We need to learn about them, and we don't do it. Like, here's a question I asked myself that I wanted to discuss on this podcast. Why do I podcast? Well, I podcast originally because I thought it would be fun. It wasn't about ever becoming some famous person or rich. Those would be great perks. Great perks. I'm not going to sit here and say that wouldn't be great perks. I would like to be known. But for the most part, me and Ned have been doing this since 2017 and have been allowed to keep our anonymity because we're not actually looking for that. I mean, I built up thousands of people on Instagram just to delete every fucking one of them because I don't care about that. Because the most important thing to me is my voice, not my face. Because I was actually sitting down today, Net, saying, do I want to make this podcast a video podcast like every fucking body else? And then I thought about it. I said, you know what? When you drive it in your car and you got on, say, the Breakfast Club, you ain't seeing them. Does that make you turn the radio off? No, you still enjoy what you listen to. And I said, you know what? I'm not joining the visual. I'm going to stay audio because that's my lane. I like that lane. And I thought about it. I mean, I was getting ready to set this room up as a studio. I got all this sports paraphernalia I was going to put behind me. And then I said, you know what? Do you really want to deal with people talking about this on your body, that on your body, your face, this? You know what? I'll fuck you. I hate you. You're not as well built as I thought you was. Your beard is not as black as it is in your image. I don't want to go through all that. I said, you know what? To avoid that, I'm going to stay exactly where I'm comfortable. We've been doing this for a long time. First of all, maybe other people wouldn't be comfortable being on camera. So I'm going to keep that out of my wheelhouse. It was a thought I entertained for 6 seconds, and it's over.
Real quick, too, I saw the logo. That's pretty good, kick-ass logo.
Hey, thanks a lot, man. That guy did. He did a great job. Like what I've been doing lately, and it's kind of humbling. Very well, it's very humbling to me. I've been reaching out to a lot of people because I do would like. God damn, I would like to start getting into more of interviews. So when I find subject matters now that I find interesting, I reach out to people. I mean, and it's humbling to ask somebody else, would you come on and let me interview you? And then you got to word it in a way where it's like, you know what? It's not an attack job. Because I've been reaching out to the gay community because I love this show called Legendary. It's about the drag ballroom scene. You
Yep.
know, like Paris is Burning, and they had another show called My House that was on Viceland. So I like stuff like that, but I don't know anything about it. Being a heterosexual male my whole life, that's just not a world that I'm very much into, other than seeing it on TV. And I would like for people to explain. So, like I said, I reached out to some big shots, and naturally, because they're big shots, they don't even respond. But I get a lot of likes when I go to these video sites like on YouTube. People will like everything I'm saying, but nobody will say I'll come on and be interviewed. It's because they have a caste system, it seems like, where only people in authority can speak about the culture. And I'm like, damn, what about the little guy? I'm not necessarily looking for the biggest shot. If you know about the subject, can't you come on and talk? Oh no, I gotta kind of pass that through my mother or father. I'm like, okay, I don't know how that works. See, that's the whole reason of the interview because I don't know how that shit works. You know, but but that's crazy. And like I said, it's very humbling, man. Waiting for other people to respond back to you because I'm gonna continue doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, it only
Last
take
week, man,
one to say yes.
that's it. But a closed mouth don't get fed, man. I went to YouTube. I went to what I do is I went to these videos and I would put my message on their attach it to their video and say if you don't like what I'm saying, delete it. I'm fine with that. Just delete me because I'm not doing any attacking. I'm just asking a question. So I did that also on Facebook today. You know, like I'm also reaching out to a lot of people in the music world. I want to find out how we could do a whole show dedicated to music and actually play other people's music, but I don't know the procedures. So I reached out to a guy this morning who does a radio show, just asked him, like what is the procedures on getting permission or licenses to play these people's music? Because it seems like you don't want to get. I got a cease and desist order a month ago from YouTube because I was playing 11 seconds of somebody's song as an intro. 11
Yeah,
seconds.
YouTube, no more. They don't. You can't play. You can get a clip it, and then you have to. You can't play a sequence.
Yeah, so you know what I did? I went and got my own theme song, which I am now licensed to use. That's what I did. I kind of like rebranded. That's why I did the different logo, and I made sure this logo is everywhere I'm attached is just one logo only. Instagram, iTunes, Google, one logo. Uh, Facebook, one logo. No more multiple logos, no more multiple shows, different things.
So
This
it's
one
funny
song.
because even if you own your own copyright, YouTube could still send you a cease and desist and remove your channel. I was reading something that happened to Crooked Eye a couple of weeks or months ago. He did an interview. He's got in the podcast. He did an interview with Eminem, right? Another company came and took a snippet. A bigger company came and took a snippet of his interview and posted it to YouTube. YouTube thought that they owned the content and erased Crooked Eye's whole channel.
Hmm, that's crazy. Now I'm going to say something about that, man, and I'm glad you brought that up. I wish somebody big. I wish we can get a movement. And I know money is money, and money is good for those guys. But they are not giving the little man anything, man. Every single fucking celebrity has a podcast. Everyone. Megan Thee Stallion just bust one out this week. I mean, damn, can the little person live? I guess, maybe when they all go back on tour, they can't, focus on it so much. I understand the Joe Buttons. Joe Buttons basically gave up everything to do it. Joe Rogan is the fucking king.
Yeah, Joe Rogan.
Okay? He's the fucking king. So you can't tell Joe anything. But it's like T.I.'s got one. This one's got one. Snoop's got one. Every fucking single person who has any celebrity status also has a podcast. So it's a big industry, and they say something like 16 billion people listen to podcasts, but it's so flooded, and it's now to the point. Do I listen to what Joe Budden has to say, or do I listen to this fucking dickhead doc that I've never heard of before, who has no songs? So it's a choice. And then when you're audio versus video, that's another thing. So I consider Strange Talk with Doc to be truly blessed to be having. Last week I did 3 shows, right? 3 shows. We did that one Sunday. I did a special Brooklyn one Monday. I did a call out to the gay and underground community Saturday. One weekend, over 5,000 people listen. 1 week. I mean, that's fortunate. For some reason, people want to hear my voice. I guarantee you, by the time I post this show, an hour later, I'll have like 20, 50 people have already tuned in. That's why I don't beg people in my life to come on. My brother was supposed to call in today. I knew he would not call in today. I knew it. I didn't even have to question it. Because I've been doing this shit for 3 years and he's never called in. Well, he called in once for like 2 minutes. I've had other people, oh man, I hear, how many times I hear that shit from people? Man, I'll call in this weekend. I'll call in this weekend. And so I never even ask anymore because I feel that's humbling that I don't have to do to myself. Why should I ask you to call in when I survive fine if you don't call in? You're the one who's blowing. You in your life might never be able to say 3,000 people listen to me say something. I can say that shit 57 times.
I just hate when people say they're going to do something and don't do it. That shit annoys the hell out of me. Like, just don't say nothing. I didn't ask you. Just don't say nothing.
Exactly. You know what? Like I said, the biggest room you might have spoke to was you got lucky in junior high school and you spoke to the assembly and there was 150 kids. If that's the case, I have 218 shows. I've done that shit 218 times. Plus, I have some videos of clips that got hundreds of viewers. So I've spoken to hundreds of thousands of people who don't know me from Adam. So if you want to get your viewpoint across to a bunch of people, that's on you. If you don't, that's on you. Well, I've seen some stuff, man. I told you the Shy is heating up, and I can't wait to see the next episode that comes out today. Black Monday is just off the fucking charts. That show is just bizarre, and there's some crazy shit. Listen, it gets worse as it goes. It gets more bizarre as it goes. This is one of those shows. Hang in there because the next episode is going to hit you in the nuts. I watched the documentary. I really didn't enjoy too much, and I loved the subject matter. It was the John Coltrane documentary. It's called Chasing Train. It was kind of boring, and I love documentaries, man, but this shit was kind of boring. Now, I will say there's a good one out there called Mucho, Mucho or More, The Legend of Walter Mikado. That shit was fun.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody knows Walter Mikado.
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but my family watched that the other day.
You know what? Walter Mikado came off really good in this documentary. I don't know if there's some other stuff that's going to make him look bad, but he came off looking good. At the end of this documentary, I liked Walter a lot. I liked him a lot because I didn't see any evil in Walter. I didn't see any meanness in Walter. And it was nice to see a documentary about a person that you didn't see he had bad intentions for people. And so, you know what? He wasn't selling like religion, pie in the sky. He was selling hope. And I don't have a problem with somebody selling hope to hopeless people, even though it might cost them some money to get it. But the man also was on free TV forever. So, and here's another one on Netflix you might like. Net Basketball or Nothing, about some Indian Navajo Indians from Arizona, Chingling, Arizona, playing b-ball. One, I didn't even know that Native Americans like b-ball like that. But some of these Native American kids would get on a court with a brother and bust his ass. So I thought that was kind of cool. You know?
I have to check that out. That never even popped up on my list.
Yeah, that's a good one. Lil Wayne, the Free Weezy album. He had a song on there. I don't know if you listened to it, called Glory. That shit is fire, absolute fire. As far as I know, this is an old album, old CD. This was the one that he was trying to get from under Baby's. Yeah, and he
Lil
finally
Wayne, for me,
released
Lil
it.
Wayne is someone has to recommend me to go listen to a Lil Wayne song. I'm not really going to listen for a Lil Wayne track.
Listen, Glory is a must listen. I mean, absolutely, positively. He had three on there that are must listens to. One is Glory. The other one is called Murder, featuring Corey Guns and Capo and Junior Reed, who's a reggae artist. And the other one was this song called My Heart Races On with this guy, Jake Trough. Those are the three winners to me. Glory, Murder, My Heart Races On. Three winners, absolute winners. They're going into heavy rotation in my car. I finally listened to Pop Smoke, who I've never heard of before in my life, other than his death. So they released his album. It's called Shoot for the Stars and Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon.
Yeah.
He had a song on there called Got It On Me, which he's referring to he got his piece on him. And unfortunately, the night that he died, he obviously didn't have his piece on him. But the song basically was 50 Cent's So Many Men redone, which I've never heard in rap. Somebody basically redo. He covered a rap song, which was weird.
That's why 50 really liked that guy. He said they had many conversations, and said when 50 came big, I guess that was the biggest rap star at the time. So I guess he really influenced him.
He more than influenced. I mean, damn man, you could put the two on side to side. He actually in rap, nobody copies somebody else's basically chorus hook. He copied the hook. Like, I no longer cry, I no longer look to the sky. Same, so many men. He said the same exact words. I mean, did he add some modern day stuff to it? Yes. So I'm going to give him credit for that. I thought that was a pretty good song, Got It On Me, even though it's ironic that a man talking about having his gun and if you run up on me, I'm going to kill you before you kill me, didn't have his gun when people ran up on him. And the second one that I thought was all right was Tunnel Vision, a song called Tunnel Vision. That one is short. It's like towards the end of the album. But he just, you know what? He was talking about his tunnel vision, and he hit some great points, and it was good. So I got a little bit of respect for the album. But when these guys get into all that Cuervo trap shit, I'm out. I mean, those are songs I tune out in 6 seconds. And by the way, that Lil Wayne stuff that I'm telling you about, those three songs that I mentioned, those are not trap. Those are straight rap. Straight rap. I wouldn't ask you to listen to anything. Matter of fact, I'm not reviewing any trap house artist on Strange Talk with Doc for any reason anymore. I don't give a fuck about the Gucci Manes. I don't care about. I still have not listened to Scotchy's latest hit. I refuse. I won't even give him an extra click. But then we all. No, not touching. Then we also had Moon Man and Slim Shady. The Avengers of Moon Man and Slim Shady, which is Kid Cudi and Eminem. I thought the song was all right.
Yeah, it was all right.
I thought it was entertaining. I don't know what the fuck Kid Cudi was talking about. It wasn't like those bars flowed into anything but fun. I mean, he had no message at all. M tried to throw in a couple of things to make it seem like it was about something, but his part wasn't about shit either. Why you on my carotid artery? rest in peace to Aubrey. Rest in peace to George Floyd. But other than that, you know, Slim Shady wouldn't have gave a fuck about anything political anyway. You know, there's Eminem and then there's Slim Shady. Now, another brother who I think had a really shitty week this week was big muscle bound dumbass TERRYCREWS.
He just need to shut the fuck up forever, man.
Well, I you know what I'm gonna say? I'm going to take what you just said. I'm gonna run with it, and there's no need for me to elaborate. I think you closed the door on that one. Concurred. You know?
I mean, every week, I mean, like, come on, man. Like every week you tap dancing. Like, come on, I'm tired.
How long? Let me ask you a question. How long before he's standing with his arm around Trump at the White House saying, you know, he takes the place of Kanye? How long? Because he's
Shit,
like
I think
next
if Trump
in
call
line.
him tomorrow, he'll be there.
Yeah, man. You know?
Like, dude, you from Flint, Michigan. Like, go talk about Flint needing water. How about that?
Yeah.
Every time you tweet something, it's like, oh shit, what did he say last week? It was
Black supremacy.
Yeah. Then it turned into Black Lives Matter. Make sure Black Lives Matter doesn't turn into Black Lives Better. I'm like,
yes.
What?
And it's always an attack against blacks. And so he's actually sold out. He's gone. He's another one who I deleted. I don't want to even hear anything he's got to say.
I don't really delete people, but yeah, I had to take him off. I was like, I'm getting tired of these pop-ups.
Him and Steph, like I said, Steven Jackson. I don't give a fuck what they say. I don't want to hear it right now. First of all, I forgot to mention this one. Stephen Jackson had a lot of beef with sisters to begin with. He had actually said earlier this year, and I'm going to paraphrase, something like black women are twice as bad to black men as the police. I mean, you know, when I look at him, I'm thinking his mama was a black woman. His grandmother was a black woman. I'm assuming. But I think it's safe to assume when you're that dark, there are black women in your family. And to say that they are twice as bad to black men on, this is what you post so that people would see it with the platform you have. So black women never forgave him anyway. They kind of read through him with the George Floyd thing. Because you know what? A lot of black women had a problem with him with somebody's daughter on his lap. You know, that most men don't want another man holding their child in their lap. But you know what? I digress, and that's just me venting. So here's something that did not surprise me, but it was nice to find out. So we find out that Tucker Carlson is nothing but a puppet because his racist head writer basically said after he got fired that everything that comes out of Tucker's mouth at the beginning of the show are words I give him. So Tucker's not even speaking for himself when he's spewing all that bullshit on Fox. It's being pumped into his ear. So people have been given. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, the sheep. I call people sheep.
Oh yeah. So they were giving. Yeah, they were giving Tucker all this credit for, like, you know, these viewpoints. Come to find out that they might not even be Tucker's viewpoints. He might be just doing it like an actor for the money. Dude says anything that Tucker reads is coming from me. And it's the same dude who said, you know, nigger. It's the same white guy who called jet black niggers. I mean, come on, man.
I bet you he wouldn't come to a black neighborhood and say the nigger. It's fine when you're in your studio and nobody could get to you.
Yeah, but here's another thing, Ned. Let's not forget, he was also hunted under assumed names on his social media sites. So he wasn't even taking credit under his full name. That's how cowardice he is. But you know what? There's a lot of cowardice and there's a lot of bullshit going on, man. And I'm glad that lawyer couple, the Bukowskis, see, this is what you get when you do stupid shit. You had the feds knocking on your door, SWAT team, early in the morning to come confiscate your rifle because you don't know how to play nice with people who are walking by minding their damn business out in St. Louis.
Yeah, they tried to make it seem like they was terrorizing them.
Those people were nowhere near. They were on the damn street. Well, it's not really a public street, I guess, when you're in a gated community, but
Yeah,
they were on the street. They was not even on his grass. There was no need for the reaction that him and his wife gave. None, other than they wanted to try to prove some kind of point. But when you harass people, there's two things they tell you in this world, right? Your driver's license is a privilege, right?
Yep.
Your gun license is for sure a extra privilege because a person can get a driver's license, can't get a gun license. So that's an extra privilege. That kind of says I lived all right. I lived a decent life, and they allow me to protect my family and my goods in a special manner. Because think about it, you can lose your driver's license any fucking day. You can go to traffic court, and the judge says, you know what, you're suspended for 6 months. And you be
I got a friend that license was suspended for the rest of his life.
You know what? I have a buddy who can't ever get a license and never had a license because he was one of those drag racers as a kid. And he multiple times got arrested for it and never paid any of the fines. So that shit is compounded into $20,000-$30,000. Now they won't arrest him for some reason. They never charged him with it, but it's on his record that if he ever's to file, he has to pay every dime of that back first before he could even pay the money to take a permit. So we're talking about a 57-year-old man who's never had a driver's license and one of the best drivers I've ever met because he was a race driver. But he refused to go about doing the right thing. So the courts have always told him it's a privilege. That's all the judge ever says. It's a privilege. You've blown the privilege.
Yeah. My friend is even scared to get an electric bike because he's like, they might arrest me for this. So he's like, nah, I'm good. I'll just ride my regular bike.
I hear that some people that don't pay their child support, they take their fucking license from them.
Yeah, they supposed to. I don't know if it's every state, but I know New York's supposed to suspend your license.
Yeah. Well, I think for the most part, it's kind of national. What they do is they'll take other than your right to earn money, if you use it to get back and forth to work, but there's no joy riding. If you're caught at like 11 o'clock at night and you get a ticket, you can be arrested. Me and you would be released because it's just a ticket. Yep. Yeah. Me and you would be just a ticket. That person, it would be cuffed and they go to jail.
I think at a certain age, they should review your license too. Shit.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Guy the other day almost killed me. I was like, what the fuck, dude? They need to review your license.
Well,
anybody that makes a complete stop on the highway, they need to review your license.
Well, that's insane. My wife says that all the time because she says obviously some of these people get them at 16, they're now 52, and they've never been reevaluated.
Think about it. You got to renew everything else every 10 years. Your passport, your driver's license. I mean, you renew your driver's license, but they don't have to get retested.
Yeah, you know what? Your gun license every 5 years. Every 5 years, you got to fill in a renewal. Think about it, your fucking car gets a health inspection every year.
Yep.
Registration to make sure that you pass the missions.
I think if you got a newer car, they should make it like every two years or so. Jesus
yeah, I think
Christ.
they do. For people who have anything after 2017 or 2018, I think they do that now. Because
I'm like the emissions test is not going to be bad if you got a newer car unless you got a lemon.
Yeah, I'm supposed to go get mine. Mine runs out September 30th or 31st every year, and I'm supposed to have my new one on by October 1st or October 13th. Matter of fact, I was just talking to my wife. She's like, fuck going to these corona-infested garages right now. Wait. And I take advice. I'll let it pass for a while. You know, I mean, the thing that I'm glad that I went and got done before this corona hit was I did go and get my New World Order ID. So I got this brand new fucking real ID that I can't use nowhere. The
Oh
hell
yeah, and they
need
done
for
pushed it
nothing.
back. Yeah, 'cause that's the one you need to fly.
So I went and got it. I got it in, I believe, I got it right before this happened. So that might have been the beginning of March. I
Yeah.
went down there. It was a long ass line too, but they bing bang boomed us out, and I got it. And I was like, okay, now I got this fancy real ID that lasts for what 8 years or something like that, and so I don't
So
have
you
to worry
lose one
about
year
that.
basically.
Yeah, but it's done, and that's over. And the good thing about it is, it's legit. I don't have to worry about ID.
Yeah.
But that's just it. Well, man, I appreciate you calling in, that man, as usual. If you got something that you want to shout out or say or tell us about that you've seen or that you've heard, this is the time.
Two new movies, Greyhound and with Tom Hanks and Old God with Charlize Theron. Old God was okay. It could have been better, but Greyhound was decent. So I would say give Greyhound a shot.
Was it fast? From what I hear, it was fast paced because it's just, for a war movie, it'll be only 90 minutes. That's pretty quick.
Yeah, Greyhound is pretty fast paced. It's like a 5 minute slowdown and then it really picks up. But I think if you want to visualize for people, you need your sound turned up to get all the effects that's possible. Because this movie should have been released in like an IMAX theater or something like that.
Yeah, what you call him said he was very hurt they had to do it this way, but what could you do? Corona,
Yeah.
COVID-19, buddy. You know. And he's fascinated with war. This is about his fourth movie where Tom Hanks has been in war.
So he done played the pilot. He done played the two ship captains. So he's I guess he wants to hit every skill. I didn't see Mr. Rogers, so ain't comment on that.
Let's not forget he also was Forrest Gump, who was a war hero.
Oh, war hero, yes.
Forrest Gump got the Congressional Medal of Honor. He also was. Oh man, there's another one that Tom Hanks. Save It, Private Ryan.
Oh yeah. Wait,
People
Saving
forget.
Private Ryan is saved? Nah, I remember Saving Private Ryan. I just didn't remember it was Tom Hanks.
Yeah, Tom Hanks, I believe, was in Saving Private Ryan. And you know what I'll do? If I'm completely wrong next Sunday when I do this podcast, I will apologize about it because I ain't always right. That's just human.
Oh yeah, it was Tom. It's definitely Tom Hanks.
Okay, so Tom Hanks, so he's been Army, he's been Marines, he's been the Navy. He's done it all, man. He's definitely been in some war stuff for sure. His
One last
category
thing.
of
They did ended up putting the Black Lives Matter in front of the Trump Hotel.
Yes, I did see that.
Yeah.
And that caused some grief.
They just delayed it. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I do appreciate that he finally pulled the trigger on it. I thought it was a good optic for Trump to see because now it just gives him another reason to hate New York. you know how that goes.
No,
First of all,
you hate New York really now that the Supreme Court said that he has to hand over his tax return.
well, you know what? That's going to be an interesting saga, and I can't wait to see how this plays out because let's see if the Southern District of New York does the right thing. They seem to dislike him, especially since they got rid of the last district attorney. Remember that guy? He got fired.
Yeah.
So let's see what they do. Let's see if they do the right thing for the people of America because nobody seems to be doing the right thing for us at all. And that's just a sad situation, but it's the truthful matter. Net, man, I want you to have a blessed weekend, man. I want you to stay safe, man. Stay safe. Protect yourself
You too,
out
bro.
there. Yes, yes. I am a mask wearer. I'm proud of it. I ain't jiving nobody. I say wear your fucking mask. You'll get used to it. We might be in these fucking masks longer than you think. So don't listen to Trump and think that it's unnecessary. It's necessary. But I'm going to tell everybody like I tell them each and every time, man. This is Strange Talk with Doc. I'm Doc. That's been Netboy sitting in with us. I'm just going to say peace to you and peace to yours. Net, peace, brother.
Have a good one. Peace.
Okay.